What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Do You Want More, a UFC stat show, right here on the Monk Maddox channel. I am your host, Monk, aka the Monkmatician, and in this episode, we're going to get into the 5 fights on the main card of UFC Vegas 36, headlined by Brunson versus Till. So, without further ado, let us get right into it, since it is 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm recording this. That's a totally normal time for most people to be doing stuff. Luigi Vendramini, lightweight fight against Paddy Pimblett. Vendramini is 5'8", 73-inch reach, orthodox stance, 25 years old. Pimblett, 5'10", 70-inch reach, and almost a year exactly older than Luigi Vendramini, the Italian stallion. Professionally, Vendramini is 9-2, 1-2 in the UFC. 54.5% of his fights have come by way of knockout TKO finish. 5 wins, 1 loss against. And he also has 4 wins by sub, so a lot of finishes there. Paddy the Baddy, on the other hand, 16-3 professionally, no UFC fights. 5 wins by knockout, 7 wins by sub, and he has been subbed 1 time. A lot of finishes for these guys. I have no statistics here for Pimblett, so we're just going to kind of go through Vendramini. Let's see, he opened at 154, plus 154. He's currently plus 116. Paddy the Baddy, minus 184, currently minus 141. Minus 155, fight doesn't go. As far as capping this fight, I don't have any distance odds, decision odds, and I have no stats for Paddy Pimblett. So this 66.5 and 33.5 numbers are not accurate. I'm probably going to stay away from this fight. I don't want to bet fights where I have no statistics. That just seems like an obvious statement. If I do have action on this, it's probably going to be that inside the distance. Depends on what the number is, though. I know right now it's about 155, but I'd have to see what some of the other props are. But I'm not picking a side on this one. Some notable performances, as well. Fight finishing data. As you can see, 1 knockout win for Vendramini, a knockout loss, and a split decision loss. His knockout win did come in the first round. His knockout loss came in the second. Decent ass whooping index numbers there, all across the board. Striking data, 2.26 landed per minute at a 37.78% accuracy, so that's pretty low as far as significant strikes go. 60th in the division. His defense, he does get outstruck, 2.49 significant strikes landed against per minute, but his defense is very good, 65.64%. However, a negative differential, negative 0.22. That's 46th out of 69 in the lightweight division. Has a 3.42% striking efficiency. Luigi Vendramini, 73.7 or 0.37% of all fight time has come at distance. He has 1 knockdown for, 1 knockdown against. Basic takedown data. Completed only 1 of 12 takedowns. 8.33%. Terrible. Has an 8.89% takedown shooting rate, so he's not giving up. He's like the Rudy of the lightweight division. His shooting rate's higher than his takedown accuracy. Hilarious. I guess you have to be a stat guy to find that funny. No advanced takedown data at all. Control time data, 26.04%, so a pretty good number. Surprisingly high for what I was expecting. And an even better 0.59% against. That's the 6th best in the lightweight division. Huge control time differential number. That's great. 26% of all fight time has come inside the distance, and he's controlled 97.78% of that fight time. Incredible. 29.33 seconds of hold down time. On average, I should say. 1 sub attempt for was unsuccessful. No sub attempts against. No reversals for or against. Significant striking data, or advanced significant striking data, I should say. What am I looking for here? Just something that stands out to me pretty much. Has a decent head striking defense. Few of his defensive numbers aren't too bad. Most of them are above average. Offensive numbers are well below average, though. In the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Striking efficiency and differentials. Positive striking efficiency to the head at distance and inside the distance. but negative body striking efficiency and a terrible minus 40% leg striking efficiency. So some location-based striking differential numbers here, all negative, except ground striking differential and body striking differential are both positive 0.18 per minute. Advanced significant striking percentages. This category basically tells me, well, I use it to see if my guy's a headhunter or not. Luigi Vendramini, 77.78% of significant strikes he has thrown have been to the head, 14.81 to the body, and 7.41% to the legs. 87% of all significant strikes thrown have come from distance. So that's what I use that stat line for, and there's a graphical depiction of those stats exactly. And last 5 we don't have to pay attention to because they're going to be the same numbers as above. Strength of schedule. We can see both guys here as I do track all professional fights, or at least the past 5, I mean, no matter the promotion. So Vendramini is 3-2 professionally in his last 5, 1-2 in the UFC. Paddy Pimblett 3-2 in his last 5 as well. He also has the better strength of schedule across the board. 69.89, 69.4 for Vendramini as far as strength of schedule, 63 strength of victory, and a decent 77.27 strength of defeat. You want these numbers about 75 is where you want. So we're a little below average there. And then shout out Uncle Wheezy. I had to put these ratio numbers in here. They're too important in my opinion as far as getting the entire picture of a strength of schedule. So once again, these are all based on the last 5 fights. And Vendramini has some very low ratios here. 19th highest out of 22 on the card. 11th highest as far as his losses go in his last 5. So we'll go into those a little bit more in depth when we need to. Paddy Pimblett, pretty good strength of schedule here. 74, 70, 68 strength of victory, 83 strength of defeat. So some decent ratio numbers here as well. And then the last 5 UFC fights. We have 3 in Vendramini's history right here. And you can kind of look at those at your convenience. And then a couple of graphs for a few categories here, just kind of comparing and see where we're trending. Vendramini is trending up as far as striking goes, but his average is below his opponent, which is also trending up. Takedowns, 0 for his opponents, and he is trending up. Same with control time, looking fantastic on the ground there. And nothing for Paddy Pimblett. All right, next fight. Who do we got? Modestus Bukauskas. Do that right? Nope. Whoops. Bukauskas. I don't think so. All right, against Khalil Roundtree Jr. This is going to be a light heavyweight fight. Bukauskas 6'3", 78-inch reach, 27 years old. Khalil Roundtree Jr., smaller fighter, 6'1", 76-inch reach, southpaw, and he's about 4 years older than Modestus. Professionally, the Baltic Gladiator is 11-4. UFC, he's 1-2. 8 wins by KO, TKO, 2 losses, and then 2 wins by sub, 1 submission loss. So lots of fights finishing for him. Khalil Roundtree Jr., 8-5 professionally professionally, 4-5 in the UFC. 1 no contest. 38% of his fights go the distance. 53.8% have finished by knockout TKO, 5-4, 2 against. And he has been subbed 1 time. Average fight time is pretty similar. Ass whoop index, minus 7.21 for Bukauskas. 0 power index, and a terrible, god-awful, horrendous Chindex, 2.08. That is 33 out of 37 in the division. Khalil Roundtree Jr., minus 3.9 ass whoop index. 3.43 power index, fantastic. That is the second highest in the division. And a not great Chindex, 0.36. You want that to be 0, really. Opening lines, Modestus opened at plus 130. This line has flipped. It's currently minus 156. And I don't have any other odds for this fight. Khalil Roundtree is minus 150. He's currently plus 128. My capping is going to be off because I don't have any odds for this, like I said. So right now, I'm pretty much have it at a pick'em. Ignore this. Bukauskas did not fight Polyana Viana, so I don't know what that's all about. And we'll keep it moving. 100% finish win rate for Bukauskas in the UFC. 50% finish loss rate. 75% finish win rate for Khalil Roundtree. 60% finish loss rate. So some pretty high numbers there as far as win-loss goes. 3 knockout wins for Khalil Roundtree, 2 against. Don't want to see that. 1 round 1 finish win for Bukauskas, 1 round 1 finish loss. 3-3 in the first round for Khalil Roundtree. A very high AWI per finish win for Roundtree there, 62.47. Basic striking data, Bukauskas 3.77 landed per minute at a 35.6% accuracy. Gets outstruck. 4.36 significant strikes landed against per minute at an even 50% defense, but a negative 0.59 strikes differential per minute. 31st out of 37. Not great. Significant striking efficiency, minus 14.38%. 90.9 or 91.9% of his total fight time has come at distance for Bukauskas. Some striking data for Roundtree Jr. 3.06 strikes landed per minute at a 38% accuracy. So some pretty bad numbers for both of these guys. Gets outstruck as well. 3.63 strikes landed against per minute at a just under 50% accuracy for, again, a negative 0.57 significant strikes landed per minute differential. 30 and 31st in the division, respectively here. Advanced striking data, minus 12.26% efficiency for Khalil Roundtree Jr. 75.5% of his total fight time has come at distance. 0 knockdowns for Bukauskas, 2 against. That's a 1.36 knockdown against per 15. Lost both of those fights. Khalil Roundtree Jr., 8 knockdowns. 8. 1.58 knockdowns per 15. That is 3rd in the division. Very powerful guy here. Only been knocked down once. 80% knockdown win rate. Basic takedown data, 0% for Bukauskas, 0 for 1. Has stuffed all 4 takedowns against him, 100% defense. 0% takedown efficiency. Some takedown numbers for Roundtree. No attempts. Has 50% defense exactly. Negative 2.76 takedowns landed per 15 differential. Pretty big number there. Basic control time data, 0.3% for Bukauskas, 7.8% against. It's a negative differential there. Time fought inside the distance, only 8.1%. He's only controlled 3.7% of that control time. So just the blinkiest of an eye. Roundtree Jr., 1.82% control time, 22.68% control time against. Terrible. 24.5% of his total fight time has come inside the distance, and he's only controlled 7.42% of his grappling time. Just terrible. 2 strikers here. I think it's safe to say we got 2 strikers here. No submission data for Bukauskas. Unsuccessful on Roundtree's submission and his defense of a submission. No reversals. Let's see what's jumping out at me here. Not much. Pretty run-of-the-mill numbers for Bukauskas, below average in the division for the most part. And then pretty average for Roundtree as well. Striking efficiency and differentials. We are negative everywhere for Bukauskas as far as efficiency goes. Positive 11.11 leg striking efficiency. Head striking differential, 0.5 significant head strikes per minute difference. Gets outstruck at distance, outstruck to the body, outstruck to the legs, outstruck to the ground. Pretty much outstruck everywhere. Does Bukauskas. Roundtree, negative striking efficiency across the board. And a few negative differentials as well. These guys not looking good. Some real run-of-the-mill strikers here. Advanced significant striking percentages. 84.5% of all significant strikes thrown from Bukauskas have gone to the head. 13% to the body and 2.5% to the legs, while Roundtree 78% to the head, 11.7% to the body, and 10.5% to the legs, both above 90%. All strikes from distance. Graphical representation of that. And then our last 5. Bukauskas is 1 and 2, so those stats are going to be the exact same as above, whereas Roundtree does have 10 fights in the UFC, so we can take a look here. Does have a negative ass whoop index, huge power index. That chindex, though, is still terrible. 5 knockdowns in his last 5. Huge. Only been knocked down once. Pretty much better almost everywhere as far as striking goes. Takedown, not so much. Bukauskas does have better numbers. Roundtree, negative differentials across the board. Same with Bukauskas, though. Just no takedown numbers at all to speak of. Categorically, where are we trending? Up in striking, almost across the board. And then takedown landed against per minute has gone up by 1.1. So that actually is not a good number. Not a good number there. Strength of schedule. 3 and 2. In his last 5 is Bukauskas. Roundtree is 2 and 3. Safe to say Bukauskas has the better strength of schedule, and it's not really close at all. Some really good ratios there as well, whereas Roundtree is toward the middle/bottom of the card. Still close to that 75 number, but much less than Bukauskas. And there are the last 5 opponents. Let me snag some water while you take a look at that. And then, lastly, our graphs of a few categories. Bukauskas is trending up in his striking. However, his opponents have gotten the better of him. No takedown data to speak of, as we discussed. And his control time is pretty much not there, while his opponents pretty much do whatever. I mean, it's not a huge number. They're still not doing whatever, but, 7.8% compared to 0.3% is a pretty big difference. Khalil Roundtree Jr., his striking numbers are pretty much even with his opponent. However, he is trending down while they are trending up. No takedown numbers to speak of, and no control time either. His opponents are trending up in both categories. So we're going to see some average strikers go at it here. Sounds fun. David Zawada. I'm going to take a drink of some David Zawada right now. Do you see that? Going to be a welterweight fight here. 6 foot is David Zawada. 75-inch reach, orthodox fighter, 31 years old. Going against Alex the Great White Morono. 5'11", 72-inch reach, orthodox fighter, 31 years old. Also, these guys are actually 15 days apart in age. Morono is younger. That's it. Zawada professionally is 17 and 6. He's 1 and 3 in the UFC, while Morono is 19 and 7, 8 and 4 in the UFC. 56% of Zawada's fights have come by way of knockout. 11 wins, 2 losses. Has 4 sub wins and 1 sub loss as well. So a ton of finishes there. Morono, 30% of his fights have come by way of knockout. 6 wins, 2 losses. And he has 6 submission wins, no sub losses. Ass whoop index for Zawada, negative 4.1. Decent power index, 0.66. Terrible chindex, 0.52. Morono, ass whoop index, 3.09. Power index, 0.42. But a better chindex, 0.38. Upcoming fight odds, Zawada plus 165, average line plus 150. Morono opened at minus 205, currently minus 181. This fight is plus 115, doesn't go. I'm capping this 45-55 for Morono. That probably will change, however. Fight finishing data, 100% finish win rate for Zawada. His one fight that he won in the UFC, he did finish. 33% finish loss rate. Meanwhile, Morono has finished 3 of his 8 UFC fights and gone to decision in the other 5. So more decisions than not for Morono here in the UFC. Zawada does have a round 1 finish win and a round 1-3 finish loss. Morono has finished 3 fights in the first round, has also been finished in the first round once. Basic striking data. Zawada, 3.24 significant strikes landed per minute at a 40.75% accuracy, below average there. 42 and 54th out of 67. Gets outstruck, 4.07 significant strikes landed against per minute at a 54.4% defense. That's a negative 0.83 significant striking differential. He also has a negative 4.83 striking efficiency and has fought 53.25% of his fight time at distance. Morono, let's check it out. 5.05 significant strikes landed per minute at a 42, almost 43% accuracy. 3.69 strikes landed against per minute at a 56% defense. Has a positive 1.36 significant striking differential. That is 9th in the division. He is ruling in this striking category, at least over David Zawada. Morono has a better efficiency as well. 77% of his total fight time has come at distance. When he throws over 100 significant strikes, and that's happened in 7 fights, he lands 5.92 significant strikes per minute. That is up from 5.05, and he wins 71% of those fights. Knockdown data. Zawada has 1 knockdown, 1 knockdown against. Morono has 3 knockdowns and only 2 against. Basic takedown data. Just under 1 takedown landed per 15 for Zawada at a 30% accuracy. Doubled up for takedowns landed against and a 57% defense, so not great. Has a negative almost 1 takedowns landed per 15 differential. Negative takedown efficiency, etc., etc. Morono, not great numbers here either. 0.43 takedowns landed per 15 at a 25% accuracy. 52% takedown defense, negative takedown differential, just as bad pretty much as David Zawada. Advanced takedown data, not much to see. Basic control time, 12% for Zawada, 35% against. It's a huge negative differential. 46.7% of his fight time has come inside the distance, but he's only controlled 25.5% of that grappling time. So not great. Has a 70-second get-up time, 33.7-second hold-down time. So not good numbers there. On the other side, Morono, 8.15% control time, 14.88% against. So his differential also negative. He's fought even less time inside the distance, 23%, and he's controlled 35.39 of that grappling time. Has a 54.7 get-up time, so not great, but better than Zawada, and also has a better hold-down time at 43.06 seconds. His control time activity rate is also much higher than Zawada's, 8th in the division. As a matter of fact, submissions, Zawada 7 attempts in 4 fights, has pulled off 1 of them. Morono 4 attempts in 12 fights, 13 fights, has pulled off 1 of them as well. Reversals, 1-4, 1 against for Zawada, 1-4, 2 against for Morono. Let's see, 9% of the takedowns landed against Morono have been reversed, 17% for Zawada. Advanced significant striking data. What's jumping out here? Good body accuracy from Zawada. Otherwise, pretty run-of-the-mill numbers there for the most part. Morono has the advantage on most of these numbers. Some good volume as far as head strikes go. Wow, 3.92 head strikes landed per minute. That's 5th in the division. We'll have to see his head hunting numbers here. As far as efficiency goes, negative everywhere for Zawada except for leg striking efficiency. He also has a bunch of negative striking differentials. His only positive ones are body striking differential, 0.15, and clinch striking differential per minute, 0.36. Morono on the other side, positive pretty much everywhere, pretty close in distance and inside the distance. 2.02 head strike differential per minute. That is a fantastic number. Almost 1 strike differential per minute at distance. Fantastic. Let's see. 82% of all significant strikes thrown from Zawada have been to the head, 12.6 to the body, 5.6 to the legs, 83% from distance. Morono, 86.8 to the head, 8 to the body, 5 to the legs, and 88.67 to the distance. So a bit more of a headhunter is Alex Morono. Take a look at these graphs if you like. Last 5 UFC fight statistics. 1 and 3 is David Zawada. 3 and 2 is Morono. Zawada's stats will be the exact same from above. Morono, decent ass whooping index, 1.69. 0.31 power index, but a not great chindex of 0.36. Pretty much dominating the ground category, though, as far as strikers go. Some positive differentials here. Well, one of them at least. Negative across the board for Zawada. Where are we trending here in these categories? Morono is 9%. His striking defense has gone down 9% in the last 5. Takedown accuracy is up 11.3. Takedown defense is up 14.5. Significant strikes landed per minute is up 1.42 in Morono's last 5 compared to his career. So really kind of pouring that volume on. Improving that takedown game as well. Gotta love to see it. Strength of schedule, not great for Morono. Some pretty bad ratios as well. Much better for Zawada, above 75 everywhere. 6th highest ratio across the board. Last 5 fights. Let's see, no similar opponents. You can just kind of take a look at that information. Big head out of the way so you can see the Danny Roberts loss, which he kind of barely won, according to the ass whoop index there. Other than that, a couple of graphs here. Significant strikes landed, trending up, but so is his opponent, and they average more than he does. Takedowns, he's averaging the same across his last 5, or his last 4, I guess. Opponent trending way up. And then control time, same deal. Alex Morono, he is trending up, and his opponent is trending down. He's trying to get that. Actually, he is above his opponent right now as far as strikes landed per minute. Trending up in takedowns as well. Opponent trending down. And same with control time. So we're seeing some improvement here from Alex Morono. Maybe after this fight, we'll have a couple of positive graphs here. We'll just have to see. Let's take it back to the top. I believe we have 2 fights left. Tom Aspinall against Sergey Spivak. Spivak. This is a heavyweight fight. Aspinall, 6'5", 78-inch reach, 28 years old. Spivak, 6'3", 78-inch reach as well, 26 years old. So he's going to be just about 2 years younger than Tom Aspinall. Aspinall 10-2 in the professional career, 3-0 in the UFC. He has 8 wins by way of knockout, 2 by way of sub, and 1 sub loss. Only 8.3% of his fights professionally have gone the distance. Should be a number right there. Oh well, I'll have to fix that. Sergey Spivak, I've said it 14 different times already. 13-2 in the UFC, professionally, 4-2 in the UFC. 20% of his fights have gone the distance. He has 5 KO TKO wins, 1 loss, and 6 sub wins, no sub losses. Lots of finishes from these guys. 21 between the 2 of them. Tom Aspinall, 59.59 ass whoop index. His average fight time in the UFC is less than 3 minutes. That's the second highest ass whoop index in the heavyweight division. 1.59 power index. That's 9th out of 43. Perfect chindex. Sergey Spivak, 8.78 ass whoop index. Good for 11th out of 43. Never knocked anyone down and has a not great chindex of 0.51. 28 out of 43. This fight opened minus 300. Tom Aspinall. He's currently minus 277. Sergey Spivak opened at plus 240, currently plus 237. So that is kind of interesting. I'm capping this fight currently at 64.35. Aspinall. but I don't have a bunch of odds, so we're going to have to wait for those. Notable and notable performances. Fight finishing data. 100% finish win rate for Aspinall. All three have been by finish. 50% finish loss rate for Spivak. And then both of those finishes for Aspinall, or two of them have come in the first round, one have come in the second. And then Spivak, two have come in the second round, and he has been finished once in the first round. Oh, and that was a bad finish too. Striking data, Tom Aspinall lands the fourth highest strikes per minute, 7.43, 66% accuracy. I mean, these are top 10 numbers in the entire category. He only gets hit with 3 strikes per minute, 66% defense, has a significant strike per minute differential of 4.36. That is the second highest in the division. These are all top 5 numbers here from Aspinall for the most part. Sergey Spivak on the other side, 3.85 landed per minute, 50% accurate, gets hit with 3.1, 56% defense, positive striking differential, but it's laughable compared to Aspinall's. Aspinall, 32% striking efficiency, has fought 66.78% of his fight time at distance, while Spivak 6.4% or 74% accuracy, and only 45.59% of his total fight time has been fought at distance. Knockdown data, 1 for Aspinall, won that fight. Spivak has been knocked down, and he did lose that fight. Takedown data, Aspinall, 3.54 takedowns landed per 15. That's 2 of 2, 100% accuracy. No one's attempted to take him down. Let's see. That is a 2.11 takedown shooting rate. Spivak on the other side, 2.83 takedowns landed per 15. That is 5th in the heavyweight division at a 63% accuracy. Fantastic. He has stuffed 7 of 10 for a 70% defense. 2.12 takedown per 15 differential. That also with a 33% takedown efficiency rate. Absolutely fantastic. 7.6 takedowns landed per 15 in his finish wins for Spivak. Huge. Basic control time data, 33% control time for Tom Aspinall, 0 control time against. 33% of his of his total fight time has happened inside the distance, and he has controlled 100% of that fight time with an 84.5 second hold down time. Amazing. Spivak, 35.46% control time, very good. 19% control time against. 54% of his total fight time has come inside the distance, and he has controlled 65% of his total grappling time. So no slouch there. 72-second get-up time, not great. 71-second hold-down time, pretty good. And Aspinall has a much better control time activity rate than Spivak, so he's much more active there when he's in control. Spivak, when he attempts 2 or more takedowns, his control time jumps 20% to 54. Tom Aspinall, 1 of 1 sub attempts. Sergey Spivak, 1 of 1. And he also has defended 1 submission successfully. Let's see, what jumps out to me here? Oh, I don't know. Tons of top 5 numbers from Tom Aspinall as far as advanced striking goes. Tons of top 5 numbers. I mean, he's first in head striking defense, 82%. Are you kidding me? And Spivak's not that far off in some of these numbers, but compared to Aspinall, it's not close. Efficiency, differential. I mean, this is Aspinall all the way. Positive efficiencies across the board, and positive 96.25 inside the distance striking. 41% head striking efficiency, a 4.01 head striking differential per minute, over 1.5 distance strikes per minute, over 1 clinch strikes per minute, over 1.5 ground striking differential per minute. These are incredible numbers from Aspinall. And a lot of these numbers from Sergey Spivak aren't terrible either, but like I said, compared to Aspinall, it's not close. And love to see it. 79% of all significant strikes thrown from Aspinall have gone to the head, 8 to the body, 12.6 to the legs. Only 62% from distance. Oof. Love to see those numbers. Meanwhile, Spivak, the exact opposite, headhunter, 98% of all significant strikes he has thrown have gone to the head. 1.6 to the body, 0.41 legs. 73% from distance. I mean, look at that graph. That's a lot of head strikes right there. Last 5. Don't even have to pay attention to Aspinall's. Spivak does have 6 fights. So we could look at his. Not much has changed in there. Trend-wise, his significant striking defense is down 1%. Otherwise, he's pretty even. Last 5, Tom Aspinall's 5-0. Sergey Spivak 4-1. Aspinall does have the lighter strength of schedule, only 63. That is not great. These ratios are very low. 20 out of 22, 18 out of 22. Meanwhile, Sergey Spivak, look at that strength of schedule. 78, almost 79 opponent win percentage. 75.5 strength of schedule. 79 strength of victory. 78.5 strength of defeat. I mean, some super high ratios here. So not even close as far as strength of schedule. 5-fight history. We don't have any common opponents. Sergey Spivak 4-1 in those last 5. His one loss coming to Marcin Tybura, excuse me. Barely beat Alexei Olenek, 0.53 ass whoop index. Close fight there. Couple of graphs we can look at. Tom Aspinall, striking graph, trending way up. He's way above his, I mean, this is the perfect graph, basically. If his opponents were trending down, this would be the perfect graph. Takedowns, amazing. Control time, Jesus Christ, he's building a skyscraper over here. So, some great looking graphs from Aspinall. Sergey Spivak, not bad either. Some good looking striking numbers, trending way up. His takedowns, he's above his opponents, but he's trending way down. But however, his control time is going up, and he's way above his opponents there, 35.9 to 19%. So some really good graphs from these guys. A couple of really good heavyweights. I just think Tom Aspinall is going to be too much for Sergey. I'm going to have to kind of do some fight tape, but I'm definitely leaning Tom Aspinall as far as this early in the week. All right, guys, our last fight of the main card, Derrick Brunson. This is why we're here, going against Darren Till. And I am going to do a video as well, a deep, in-depth rather, not deep dive, an in-depth assessment of this fight. I'm going to go for probably half an hour on the Brunson Till fight. So be sure to tune in for that. I'll post it right after this video. More to come there. Anyways, middleweight fight, main event, Derrick Brunson, 6'1", 77-inch reach, southpaw, 37 years old, going against Darren the Gorilla Till, 6 feet tall, 74-inch reach, also a southpaw, almost 10 years younger. So 9 years younger, actually, than Derrick Brunson, just under 29 years old. Professionally, Brunson is 22-7, 13-5 in the UFC. 59% of his fights have come by way of knockout TKO, 12 wins, 5 losses. He has 3 sub wins, and he's never been subbed. Darren Till, half his fights have been ended by a knockout TKO, 10 wins, 1 loss. He has 2 sub wins and 1 sub loss. Ass whoop index, Derrick Brunson, 13.45. That is 10th highest out of 64th in the middleweight division. Power index, 0.95, 16th highest. Chindex, terrible, 1.19 out of 57. Darren Till, negative ass whoop index in his career, minus 2.57. That's 51st out of 64th out of 64. Power index is much better than Brunson, though, 1.59. That's 7th highest. Chindex is better as well, but not great, 0.73. That is 47th out of 64. Brunson opened up at plus 115. He's currently plus 147. Till opened at minus 138, currently minus 176. So this fight is minus 147, doesn't go. I'm capping this 53% Brunson, 46% Till. Honestly, I think it's a little bit more than that for Brunson. And Yeah, that's all I'm going to say in this video, at least. But we are still waiting on odds and a couple other things as well. Fight finishing data, Brunson, 61.5% of his wins have come by way of finish, and he's been finished in 80% of his losses. Darren Till only finished 33% of his fights in the UFC, but he has been finished in 66.67% of his losses. Look at this. Derrick Brunson, 7 knockout TKO wins, 1 sub win, and 4 knockout TKO losses. Darren Till, 2 wins there and 1 TKO loss. Derrick Brunson, all 7 of his KO TKO wins have come in the first round, it looks like. That might not be true. But he does have 7 first-round finishes and 1 third-round finish. He's been finished in the first round 3 times. Till, been finished in the first round once, finished in the second round, been finished in the second round twice. Has a finish in the first round and a finish in the second round. Got a little bit ahead of myself there. Brunson has some pretty good ass-whooping index numbers across the board. Top 10 in 2 categories there. Basic striking data, Brunson landed 3.55 significant strikes per minute at a 46.8% accuracy. Gets hit with only 2.84 strikes per minute at a 54% striking defense. That's a positive 7.71 rather. Significant strikes landed per minute differential. Good for 23rd in the division. He has a 0.69% striking efficiency. And he's fought 59.41% of his fight time at distance. When he does throw more, when he throws over 100 significant strikes, and that's happened in 4 fights, his strikes landed per minute goes from 3.55 to 4.76, and he wins 75% of those fights. Darren Till lands only 2.27 significant strikes per minute. That's 58th in the division at a 46% accuracy. Gets hit with 2.99 significant strikes per minute at a 59% defense, but that is a negative 0.72 significant strikes landed per minute differential for Darren Till. 4.97% striking efficiency, and he's fought just under 80% of his total fight time at distance. I mean, this is a lot of red for Darren Till, where I expected him to have the advantage striking-wise. He doesn't, at least statistically. He throws less, he gets hit more, his defense is better, but his accuracy is worse, and his differential is negative. He's more efficient and spends more time fighting at distance. We'll see how that plays out. Knockdown data, 5 for Derrick Brunson, also 5 against for Derrick Brunson. Darren Till has 5 knockdowns as well, but he's been knocked down 3 times. Takedown data. Again, this is a Derrick Brunson category. 2.93 landed per 15 at a 31% accuracy, but his takedown defense is 93.75%. That's huge. 9th in the division. Derrick Brunson has fought 18 fights in the UFC. He's been taken down 1 time. 8.26% takedown shooting rate. He has a 25% takedown efficiency. Darren Till, half a takedown landed per 15, 41.67% accurate, decent. 82.93% defense, very good. 13th in the division, nowhere close to Derrick Brunson. He's 10 points, he's more than 10 points below Derrick Brunson. 24.59% efficiency, so just below Brunson as well. Brunson lands 3.36 takedowns per 15 in his wins, only 1.82 in his losses. So if he lands more than 2 takedowns on you, you're probably not going to win the fight. Derrick Brunson, 38% control time compared to 2% against. That's a huge differential. 40.5% of his total fight time has come inside the distance, and he has controlled 94.63% of that time as Derrick Brunson. Darren Till, 7.4% control time, 13.34 against, so that is a negative differential. Has fought 20% of his total fight time inside the distance and only has controlled 36% of that time. Derrick Brunson has a very, very quick get up time, 12.13 seconds. That is the third fastest in the middleweight division. Darren Till over double that, 27 seconds. Submission data, 1 for 4 for Brunson. No attempts for Till, and he has been subbed in one of those sub attempts against. No reversal data, advanced significant striking data. What's jumping out here? Volume is all Brunson, defensively and offensively. It's all Brunson, which I find hard to believe, but there it is. Negative striking efficiency for Brunson, except for the head and the legs. Striking differential for Brunson, very good. 0.93 head striking differential per minute. He's only negative in his body striking differential. He's got he's up half a ground strike differential per minute on his opponents. Darren Till, positive striking efficiency everywhere, except for inside the distance. He is negative 18%. He has negative differentials in every single category. Every category. Advanced striking percentages, these are pretty similar. 80% of all significant strikes that Derrick Brunson throws are to the head, 10.2% to the body, and 10.2% to the legs. Only 71.5% have come from distance. Very interesting. Darren Till, meanwhile, 81.5% to the head, 8% to the body, and almost 11% to the legs. 83.26% of all significant strikes he has thrown have been from distance. And here are the graphs there. Last 5 fights, we can definitely look at this. 4-1 for Brunson, 2-3 for Till. Look at this. I mean, Derrick Brunson dominates this entire category, except for takedown accuracy. But he has many, 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 many more takedowns than Darren Till does. Still above at 90% takedown defense there. Significant strikes landed per minute is almost 4. Almost 4. Striking differential is 0.91. Takedown differential per 15 is 3.2. Control time differential is 35.5%. Meanwhile, all negative numbers for Darren Till. This ass whooping index for Brunson in the past 5 is a 9. No knockdowns and a bad chin dex, 1.45. But, spoiler alert, that's because he got knocked down 3 times in one fight, and that was against Israel Adesanya. And in fact, as soon as this Darren Till fight happens, that fight will be off of his last 5 record. So if he does not get knocked down in this fight, that 1.45 is going to be a 0. Darren Till, negative 7.6 AWI. 1.47 power index, amazing. 1.30 chin dex, god awful. Categorical trends, we're going up in striking. Takedown accuracy has gotten even better in his last 5. Darren Till, his takedown accuracy is up 25% in his last 5. Takedown defense is up a little bit as well. Striking accuracy and defense is a bit down. And here is our strength of schedule. Derrick Brunson easily wins this category. It's not even close. 82.5 opponent win percentage. 79 strength of schedule. 79 strength of victory. 95.45 strength of defeat, because he lost to Israel Adesanya. Darren Till in the lower 70s all across the board. His ratios are, in the bottom half of the card. Meanwhile, Derrick Brunson has the first and second highest ratios across the board. Just a great significant or strength of schedule numbers there. And here are the numbers for the last 5 fights. And in fact, Darren Till really could be 1-4 in his past 5, because if you judge the fight on a total and just on the metrics instead of round by round, I have him losing the Gastelum fight. He got outstruck, and he got out controlled. So I have him personally losing that fight. So he should be 1-4 in his last 5. And we'll go on to some graphs here. Let you check out those last couple of fights on Brunson's side, because my giant head was in the way. And we got some striking numbers here. Trending up for Brunson, opponents trending down. And these takedown numbers and control time numbers are amazing. They're not even touching his opponent's numbers. That's how high they are. Great graphs from Brunson. And to see his striking trending up is beautiful. Darren Till, striking is trending up, but his opponent is above him currently. Takedowns trending up, but his opponent's also trending up as well, and they are, double his current number. And not much movement on the control time. Tyron Woodley pretty much shifted that away from Darren Till as far as total opponents in the last 5. But we'll see if he can kind of move that back up. It does look like it is creeping towards the trending upside. So there you have it. That's going to do it, guys. That's going to be our breakdown of the main card, UFC 36, Brunson versus Till. Like I said, please stay tuned for another video where we go deep, in-depth assessment into this very fight. Derrick Brunson versus Darren Till. So again, thanks for sticking around. If you're still here, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I'm with you every single week, giving you stats, helping you beat those bookies. So I had a pretty rough week last week. This week's going to be way better. I'm laser focused. I got my stats right here, and I got some leans that I'm feeling good about. So make sure you do your fight tape. Get this, pair it with this stat study that you did. And you're going to take money from your bookies this weekend, guys. It is our week. Fuck last week. That shit is over. Did you win some money on Tyron Woodley and Jake Paul? I won a little bit, but I don't count that. Last week's UFC is over. We're on to UFC Vegas 36, and we're taking money. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, and thank you so much for joining me, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace the fuck out.